What's going on, lads? It's Billy the Kid here, and I hope you're having a great day, and thank you for joining me for today's video. Now in today's video I'm going to be doing an overview of the two new commanders that were given to us by Relic, the developers for Company of Heroes 2. Relic gave us these two new commanders to use on April 25th, which is also known as Elb Day, the day in which during World War II Soviet and American troops linked up for the first time inside Germany itself, just south of Berlin. It was a final sign that Nazi Germany would soon be defeated and peace would soon come back to Europe. So Relic, in their really nice ways, decided to give us two free commanders to celebrate Elb Day. So like I said, in today's video I'm going to be doing an overview of these two brand new commanders and see what goodies and new vehicles come with them. So basically I'm going to start off with the Soviet Lendlease commander. This is the name of the new Soviet commander, and the first unlockable you're going to get with this commander is the Dushka 38 heavy machine gun. It'll be available for you at the start of the round when you select the commander, and it'll cost you 300 manpower. Now these Dushka 38 heavy machine guns are far more powerful than the other Maxim heavy machine guns that you can make with your support class. These heavy machine guns are really going to tear ass into any infantry attack that comes your way. It will decimate enemy infantry, and they also have the ability to fire armor piercing rounds, which gives them a very limited anti-vehicle capability. If you have maybe 2 or 3 of these heavy machine guns, they will tear up a enemy half track very quickly, but don't expect them to take on any heavy armor. The next unlockable that you will get with this new commander is called the Allied Supply Drop. It will cost you 4 command points, and it will cost you 100 munitions. Now this Allied Supply Drop is very interesting, as it suggests it will supply drop you some fuel anywhere on the map, and your infantry will then be able to pick it up, and you can then use that fuel to produce vehicles. So this should help you boost your resource gain just a little bit in order for you to unlock that T-34 or T-70 or any other vehicles that you want to make and get out there on the battlefield. The next unlockable on the list is the M5 half-track assault group. It will cost you 5 command points, 540 manpower and 40 fuel. Now this half-track assault group comes with a squad of Soviet Guards infantry. They will be equipped with the PTRS anti-armor rifle basically, and they're very good against enemy half-tracks, especially if you have like 2 or 3 squads with them. They can just tear apart that half-track in no time at all. The next unlockable on the list is the Conscript Repair Kit. It will cost you 5 command points, and that's it. It won't cost you any munitions or any other resources. Basically, if your vehicles are damaged and if you have a conscript squad nearby, you don't need to bring your engineers all the way over to the vehicle. The conscripts can repair it themselves. This is very useful, as I find myself a lot with damaged vehicles and I'm going to have to redirect my engineers to go repair it. Now with this little add-on I can get my conscripts to do it instead, so it's going to be very useful for you lads who like to use the conscripts very much. The next unlockable and the final one on the Soviet list is the M4C Sherman tank. Yes, they are bringing in the Sherman tank from the Western Allies, which was given over through Lendlease to the Soviets, and this is a fantastic addition to Company of Heroes 2. The biggest advantage I find that the Sherman has over the T-34, which is the usual Soviet medium tank, is the fact that the Sherman can be upgraded with a 50 caliber machine gun on top of the tank that can be used against enemy infantry or even aircraft if they get close. This Sherman tank is bound to be very popular with the players of Company of Heroes 2. It's a great all tank, but don't forget that it won't really stand a chance against much of the German assault guns or tank destroyers, or even the heavier tanks like the Panther or Tiger, unless you really use your tactics well with combined arms with like anti-tank guns, or trying to flank enemy armor to try and hit their vulnerable sides or even rear. And the final commander we're going to be looking at is the German Mobile Defense Doctrine commander. The first unlockable available to this commander is the Counterattack Tactics. It's available at the start of the round, and it will cost you 45 munitions to use. Now this is a very interesting tactic to use. Say for example that you just retook a position. If you were to enable this, this would basically decrease the time needed to recapture a position or just capture a neutral point. It decreases it about around 5 or 6 seconds, but those 5 or 6 seconds are pretty crucial in moving your troops to another position that is needed on the battlefield. The next unlockable on this list is the Panzer Tactician. It's available at the start of the round and does not cost you any munitions whatsoever. This basically gives your tanks the ability to use a smoke grenade to hide themselves. This is very useful if you find your tanks taking a lot of damage and you need to withdraw immediately. You could then use smoke to hide your tank's position and then back them out to be repaired by friendly engineers. The next unlockable on this list is the Osttruppen Reserves. This is a new addition to Company of Heroes. It will cost you 3 command points and 500 manpower. Now the interesting thing about this unit is the fact that when you deploy them, they will all have randomized veteran status. Some units will have light machine guns. They will all be able to fire Panzerfausts. Some units will have 1 veteran stars while others won't have any, and others will have 3 veteran stars. So it's really all randomized in terms of their veteran status and their weapons equipped. But like I said, all of them can use Panzerfausts, and the unit itself recharges extremely quickly. You can deploy these Osttruppen Reserves every 10 seconds if you have the resources available. So these troops can be very, very useful in swarming an enemy location or a vital command point that you really do need to recapture if you have enough of these troops. Like I said, they have the ability to fire Panzerfausts, and so they are very good against armor, but like I said, you really do need a lot of them if you're planning to take down a heavy tank. The next unlockable on today's list is the Puma Armoured Car, which returns from the original Company of Heroes. You need 6 command points, 270 manpower and 80 fuels to be able to deploy it. Now this particular vehicle is very effective at dealing with enemy light-skinned vehicles such as scout cars or half-tracks and enemy infantry, of course, but they won't really stand up against medium or even heavy armor, so don't try and take them on with other enemy tanks. The final unlockable unit available to this commander is the Command Tank. You need 8 command points, 365 manpower and 125 fuel to be able to deploy the Command Tank. And basically, the Command Tank has the ability to increase the combat effectiveness of all its units that are located within its radius. Basically, it gives them a better edge against enemy units and makes them fight harder, and it makes them just all that much more better. However, you are only able to deploy 1 command tank, so don't expect to spam this thing out all over the place to have all your units be superior than the enemy. So basically that is a general overview of the 2 new commanders available to us in Company of Heroes 2. They are 2 excellent commanders. I've tested the both out in skirmish and multiplayer mode and they're very useful. So hopefully I can get you some more gameplay of these 2 particular commanders soon. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, leave your feedback in the comment section down below of today's video. If you're interested, please hit that subscribe button, it really does mean a lot to me. And you can also follow me on Twitter. My Twitter account is in the description of today's video. Thank you again, lads, for watching. This is Billy the Kid. It's always appreciated, and I'll see you again, lads.